Narben, good evening everybody, and welcome to Sim Racing Nord Race, which is a double header taking place at the Nordschleife. I am waiting for the server to come up. As of yet, I cannot connect, and then what I'll be doing is the usual sitting in the pits. There is no qualifying. The qualifying has already taken place. They did that earlier in the week, and I think, or last week, and they are ready to go. So I think we're going to be going into the server, letting people join, and then basically from that point they will go to the grid. Server's still not up yet, so I'm still waiting. Hopefully it'll be up soon, otherwise this may be a problem. If I'm not seeing it at the moment, if it carries on I will ask the team when the server is due to come up. I was under the impression the server was due to start at 20 past the hour. Obviously that isn't the case, so there may well be a problem with the server. I'm just going to see, make sure my timings are correct. I'm sat here like a bit of a fraud talking to myself. Start joining any second now, so I think we may get in the server. It's still showing us training. Well, I do think it, there we go. I think the server has now come up. So I'm going to connect to the server. There's a 10-minute free practice, and then there are 2 races. One 15 minutes, and one I think is 40 minutes. And what that'll do is, I think the grid is fixed for both races, but it will give people a chance to get themselves back in a decent position. If you are watching, please give me a thumbs up and a bit of a like. If you want to chat, I'm quite happy to chat back. Unfortunately, my language skills in German are very, very limited, so you will have my dulcet tones in English. But still, you will get to see the race. You'll get to see, hopefully, an exciting battle unfold on the screen. And yeah, I'll be with you for the next hour or so. If there's anything you can't see on the screen, let me know, and I will try and adjust it. If the volume levels are okay, again, let me know. If they are not, I will adjust them. That includes the in-car volume and obviously my voice volume. Now, once again, the overlays, I'm using Race Labs for the overlays. They are the nice, pretty graphics you can see on screen at the moment, where you've got like the tower, you've got the little track badge at the top right, and then obviously you've got the speed and gear counter at the bottom. But ultimately, there's a few other little things that may turn up as well as a result of my own software. I will be removing that though, as I've been having problems with it with the latest version of ACC, and I don't know whether it's the game or something else. So I'm redoing it a little bit. It will be a lot quicker, and a lot of the issues I've had with it will be ironed out. So what I'm going to do is just go on board with somebody. So that now gives you the volume levels. If you think them volume levels are too high, give me a shout, and what I can do is I can turn the in-game volume levels down a little bit, so I'm not talking over them too much. But hopefully that's all acceptable, and you can hear me quite clearly over and above the car. So I'm currently on board with Tim. I don't think I've seen Tim race before. I could be wrong. Before this race, I did download the latest livery pack. So hopefully, when I do the outside views, you will get to see the liveries. And as you can see there, that's definitely not a built-in livery. And that drag and paste livery is obviously a new one. So the livery download has definitely worked. And obviously, it does mean you're going to get to see the cars in all their glorious chosen racing colours. Who else have we got out? I think we've got Helmet out as well. Helmet, I know, drives the red one. I don't think there's much difference on that. I think that's a standard colour. We've got Michael. Michael's got his own livery as well, with the AMD badge on the side of it. Got Roland, who I think he's using a standard livery as well, with a few chosen colours. We have Klaus. I think that's a designed livery. as opposed to a standard livery, although I could be wrong. You've got Jörg, who's in a McLaren with a very similar colour scheme to Klaus. And I think that is also a manually created livery. And then we've got Christian, and as you can see there, that's a really nice looking livery in the Nissan. I don't think I had that one last week. So that's definitely one of the new liveries to the set. I will show you mine, not that it matters. Unfortunately, I've joined with the original livery. I do have my own livery as well, but I won't be racing. I'll be sat in the pits, so I can give you all the glorious timings. Race Labs doesn't work in spectator mode, hence why I've got to join to the server. So it is what it is, unfortunately. But you know, at the end of the day, if it gives you the ability to race and watch the race, that's fine by me. As I said, just got to put in my dulcet tones for a bit. I won't be commentating next week. I can hear all the boos as we speak. I am away on holiday. I'm taking some leave, and I'm going away with my wife and my daughter. Leaving my middle son at home. My oldest son doesn't live with us, and yeah, no doubt chaos when I come back. But yeah, we're only going. It's about 4.5 hours drive. We're not going abroad or anything like that. We are staying in the country. The weather is supposed to be looking actually quite decent. I don't like it too hot, but it is supposed to be sunny and warm, but not overly warm. Where we are right on a beach. So I'll be getting lots of sand in my shoes. Something I hate, something I detest. But yeah, I'll really be enjoying it. I am taking my laptop, but no, I won't be doing any commentary. I was half tempted to, but there'll only be internet on my phone, and that won't be quick enough. And I also just don't know if I'm going to get a signal there. So it looks like they're all doing the Joker lap here at the moment. Michael's gone back into the pits, and we do have Roland, who's actually on the Green Hell, as we also refer to it. We raced this last night. So the group I run, of which Marco, I know he's on leave, Uwe and Michael and Klaus race with us, and Helmut actually. We do a Tuesday event called Lord of the Ring, and every Tuesday it's a different configuration. And what I mean by that is sometimes it's a fixed car. Like last night it was wet and dark, although the weather could have been wet, dry, wet. It ended up being a dry race. So yeah, that kind of didn't work. But every week it's been something different as a challenge. So last week it was in the Lamborghini Huracan Evo 2. And I'll tell you what, that was a really nice car to drive around the Nordschleife. Very, very stable. I think we've done the GT2s as well. I think we missed the GT4s, although I think that might be next week. And then I think we've got a final end of our season, which combines 2 championships. It combines the Lord of the Ring Championship with our general Season 6 Championship. So it's like the Renaissance at the end, a great big get-together. It's a 75-minute race, so those who don't race it, I think, will struggle. Those who race it at least will know it, but they'll also know that your tyres won't last that long. You will never be able to go round with a full tank of fuel for that length of time, and the chances are people will crash, because this circuit, as you know, is renowned for pushing that little bit more and then crashing into the walls. This is one of the most exciting tracks I've always enjoyed. Watched it when Sabine Schmidt used to race it. I do watch it when other YouTubers race it, because there's something about this track I just find really, really appealing. And I think it's the fact that it's a very fast track in places, but equally with the carousel, it's also got the technical aspect of it as well. And it's fair to say there's no other track in the world like it. Would I like to go and race down it? Probably would, actually. But I probably wouldn't do it to the point where I'd end up destroying a vehicle. I'd probably do it quite tame, shall we say, taking it easy. But yeah, I'll tell you what though, at night in ACC it looks absolutely stunning. There's lights, there's tents lit up, there's lasers, coloured lasers, and it does look something else. But there's also bits where it goes eerily dark as well. I think it's also, these numbers may be wrong, but they're not going to be far off. I believe there's 77 what they class as corners on it. So the downside of that is you've got to remember every corner, and that's the first thing I had to learn was where the corners were. But then, where to brake for them, how fast you can take them, where you can accelerate from them. So, you know, it's got quite a bit. I mean, this sector, Roland's going down now, is one where people will now go off to the wall on the right because they go flying around that left-hander. You drop it a gear, but if the car slides or the tyres have gone, it will push you into the barrier on the right-hand side. This will take you up to the carousel now. So I don't know the qualification. I've also noted that Marcel's not here this week. So that means we're going to have a potentially different winner. So who's going to win? Well, good question. What I will say is Uwe is rapid, as is Helmut. I think I've seen Michael race it as well, but Uwe was racing with us last night and he's very, very quick. And Helmut, as I said, he's done it very, very quick. I think he raced last night, but he went off track and he's lightningly quick as well. So I think we'll be looking at sub 8:20s, 8 minutes 20 between them two, or within that area ballpark. So, you know, talking 8:22, something like that. But as I said, I don't know what the qualification state is. He's qualified in pole. It gives with this track, if you don't really race it often, and there's other people who don't race it often, what you'll find is that you can get away with sitting at the back. I'm not going to say take a leisurely stroll, because that would be wrong. But actually, you'll get away with doing really well. So last night I was doing lap after lap. I did about 5 laps, 6 laps. And on the 6th lap, I was running low on fuel. I eased off. Anyway, that was a mistake because I lost my rhythm. I did damage my car. And the guy who was behind me, who was considerably behind me, by the end of the race did catch me up. And that's really because I'd trashed it. So there we are. It looks like we're over. I think we've got Klaus in the Aston, still on track. Mills in the Lambo and Helmut are still on track. And they will get their end of the lap in because 9 minutes is more than enough to get to the end. We'll find out soon enough who's going to be in pole position, who's the one who's going to make the moves, and who the ones who's going to look like a dead dog. Now ignore that fastest lap. That's because it's what registered when the server reset. Unfortunately, that's ACC for you. I've got no control over that. So what we're going to do here is, obviously, I'm going to, from my perspective, I will connect. I will have to start, but I'm going to teleport to the pits. That will clear the clutter up on the screen, so you're aware from my perspective. So the clutter will disappear, and then I can concentrate on the race. Now, unlike a lot of places where T1's bedlam, although T1 is at the bottom of the GP circuit here, I think a lot of people have already got the braking points. So I'm not expecting chaos or calamities there. So we've got 1 minute to count down. And we have 9 racers on track, and including me, but as I said, I will be disappearing to the pits because although I'd love to be able to control all the cameras and race, that's not really practical. Okay, so I'm going to drive. I can't return to the garage at this point, so I'm going to wait for it to teleport me to the pits. And it will do that for obvious reasons. So looking at this, Starting grid is Klaus, Helmut, Michael, Roland, Uwe, Tim, Nils, Jörg, sorry, Christian, and I won't move at the back. You'll see me sit there and just disappear. Camera may switch when I disappear, by the way. That's, again, I can't control that. Interesting to see where this takes us. Going round the top. This is a 15-minute race. That will be basically 2 laps. So 1 flat out lap and 1 preparation lap and then 1 flat out lap. Although obviously you'll be racing quite fast in the flat out lap. Coming down to the start of the GP circuit. There's the pits. And they're ready to go. There they come charging down, and it's good to go. We've gone green. Is everyone going to get through without injury? Any scrapes, scratches? So far, so good. Everyone's got through that. Everyone's made... Oh, we've had a bit of a touch there. That looks like Nils on Uwe. I think that was the case. And we're going to get another touch there. And there goes the cones flying. And I think Uwe's just managed to get away now. But yeah, there's definitely contact there. And we're just waiting for the race to get going now. Oh, nearly close contact there. Oh, bit of a slide. Rolling there. Just getting on the curb, going a bit too hot into the Schumacher S's. And it's allowed Tim to pass him. They won't need to do the Joker lap, so they'll be straight on to the forest section quite early on. And then we'll be good to go. Okay, let's get on with this now and let's see where we go. So everyone's racing relatively close at the moment, as you can see there. Oh, we've had a car off. That looked like that was Roland. Yeah, straight into the barrier there, but he is going. He is managing to recover. And we've got the Nissan looking like it's going to go off as well. And they've both carried on. So a bit of early worry there for a couple of the drivers, I think it's fair to say. And there may be damage on that Ferrari, but we don't know what sort of damage they have. There's no way of looking at what damage the cars have. But yeah, quite interesting really. The helmet's pulling losing ground on Klaus here a little bit. Michael is just losing a bit of ground on Helmut. But that's early on the tyres and we need to warming up. I will say the Aston is good around here. I know it's an old car now in the game, but the Aston is pretty damn good. Just jump back a little bit because I think there's a bit of a potential battle there with Roland. He is starting to lose places, and Uwe's actually moving up places, so the little tap he had hasn't damaged his car. He's moving forward well. We know that McLaren's really quick, but on the straight the Aston's very, very quick. And oh, Uwe's just at the curb there, but managed to get away with it. And Michael's really closed in now on Helmut. We're on board with Helmut there. And you can see just behind Michael, Tim's also trying to put a bit of pressure on Michael as well. He's within a second. Coming up to the twisty bit now where brakes are going to be important. Neither tyres already shouting about it. This is definitely the battle. It looks like Helmut's got to grips. Sorry, Michael's got to grips now with the tyres, and he's giving Helmut a bit of a run. This is the fast section where you'll get the car probably into top gear, and then you've got the fast corner, and he's binned it. Let's do a quick replay of that. And that was Helmut, wasn't it? It's not going to let me do the replay. There you go, got it. Oh, they've all gone off. Let's go back a little bit further. I didn't realise they'd all gone off. So Helmut goes round and he gets the car sideways. You can see him just losing it there. Oh, and it looks like... Oh, there's a car upside down there. That's... oh, dear, dear, dear. There's definitely a few damaged cars there. Yeah, and they're all sat in the pits. And meanwhile, that has changed the front. And it means Christian in the Nissan. What did I say? Just go round and enjoy the race. And he finds himself in a podium position. So that was caused because he went round the corner a little bit too quick. And that's basically split the field now. So there's no literal racing going on between anybody. The chances are, for the time that's left, they'll probably stay in the pits. So the drivers on track, which is Klaus, Jörg, Christian and Roland, will probably be the ones who finish the race. And Klaus is just flying away in the front. He's really got to grips with it. He's pushing the car wide. Really good. See what it looks like from inside. This is a brilliant sector, this. Flat out down here. Ease off as you come to the end. Drop it down a couple of gears. Freewheel the car around the corner. And then ease it into the second carousel. That's nice. Drifting well into the second carousel. And then get yourself set up for the straight. Now this second bit of track here, this right-hander, the road's got fantastic grip and sticks to the right. You can really keep your foot flat and the car will just stick round the corner. Yeah, Klaus is really flying here. Flat out through there. Put your brakes on as you come to the bend here. Get the car to rotate in the final bit. Then start getting the power down as you come to the bend here. Great lap to start with that. .819, I did say sub 820. Did no harm there, did he? Absolutely spot on there. So let's go on board with Jörg, who's in second place. So this isn't a shabby lap either. This is a decent lap. Yeah, 9 minutes flat. And then Christian comes over in the Nissan. Again, decent lap. And they're the three who are racing for maximum points if it's a scoring championship. Klaus is 3 seconds faster than his previous lap as well, so he's going to be looking to shatter that 8:19. Good lap that actually, because I say I'm not a fan of the Nissan. I've never been able to run it quick. Gets this lap out of the way and he's going to finish 3rd place because the others aren't coming out. Very nice livery that, I must say. I love the colours, the colour scheme of it. Klaus flying away into the distance. The gap now is 30 seconds. Yeah, he's just disappearing, isn't he? Lovely fast corner that. You can really throttle it down there. Four and a half seconds better off than he was on his last lap now. Let's jump back to Jörg. Who's enjoying the McLaren. And it looks like Tim's come out of the pits actually. Let's there's Tim's come out. And so has Nils. Now Tim's come out with his rain light on. Oh, he's got his headlights on, that's why. See his red light flashing at the back. And Nils is just, I think, trying to work out where he is actually. Yeah, there's a gap between him, and there goes the Hurricane. Lovely sounding car. Let's jump on board with one of them again. Certainly no racing to watch. My apologies for that, but unfortunately I'm only the commentator. I can't force drivers to race. It is what it is. think Christian's got damage on his car because he's not putting the same power into the as he was to the previous lap. He is losing a lot of time, which makes me think he has got damage. There was damage to his car, to be fair. Roland's come out now as well. That's left Helmut, Uwe and Michael in the pits. I mean, one of the cars, I think it was Michael's, ended up on its side. So that was certainly going to take some panel beating to sort out. Here the tyre's really scraping. Really pushing it. Okay, let's go down from the top. On board with Klaus. Through that lovely section, so he's come up to the final sector. I think there's 9 sectors registered on the Nordschleife. Whereas most tracks have got 3, purely because of its length. It's got 9 sectors on it. So let's see what sort of speed he's going to get at the top end on here. What's he going to get? 278. That's not uncommon. Yeah, 277, 278, and it'll go down to about 282, 283. As he comes down there, no, that's it. That's all he's going to get. Another good lap. I think he's 5 seconds up. This should be an 8:14 or thereabouts. An 8:15 flat. And he is the winner. Congratulations, Klaus. And in second place at the moment, it's looking like Jörg. With speed 279, 281, so very similar to the Aston. Nice and easy around the final bend, and he will finish in second place. In third place, this finalises the podium, will be Christian. And that should be our podium for race 1. In first place was Klaus, in second place was Jörg, and in third place was Christian. Nils will finish a lap down, because he's only going to be able to put 1 lap in. But it does mean, if there's points for this, he's going to get 4th place points. And his speed is a lot slower than the others. 3 mile an hour slower. And then in 5th place, we've got Tim. And then in 6th place, we've got Roland. That is the end of the first session. So we'll go waiting for now for the server to switch to the race. Back shortly. Okay, we're back for the second race. This is a bit longer. This is 40 minutes. Again, anything could really happen here. Hopefully we won't end up with the pilot we had a minute ago in the previous race. I was going to see if I could find it on the replay, but the server switched. I was going to do a bit of a replay. "20 seconds. My car again will teleport to the pits. I will not be taking part, and hopefully we'll have a bit more action to keep an eye on. We shall see." Okay. I suppose I shouldn't have to click start there really, so I'm going to teleport to the pits anyway. So starting grid as it was before. As I said, there's no alternate starting grids. You can't do reverse grid in ACC. It's a shame. You can do it, but you've got to restart the server for it to work. So we're going to see Helmut disappear again into the distance. Or Klaus, sorry it was, wasn't it? Klaus, because Helmut got caught up in that chaos. Quite a few Ferraris in this. We've got 4 Ferraris, 1 Aston Martin, 2 McLarens, 1 Lamborghini and 1 Nissan. Benjamin was here, he'd be in the Ford. And if Marcel was in, I think he'd be in the McLaren as well. My memory serves me correct. And I think Nils, Julian Lorenz, he drives the McLaren also. Martin Bailey, he drives the Ferrari, but I think he struggles on this track. Well, purely because of the length of it. Ready to go. There we go. We take off. Come up to T1. Are we going to get through it all this time without incident? Ooh, a couple of cars looking rather dodgy close there. Everyone's got through. And we see the McLaren and the Lambo come together again. And this time the McLaren gets away with it. I think they were the two who come together in the first race. And that Lambo took a bit of a clatter, to be honest. I think there may be a bit of a damage to it there. We shall see. Really got hit up the rear. You'll see just behind, we've got a bit of action going on. Got Michael, got Uwe, and we've got Roland. And Tim, sorry. That's Roland in front there. So let's go to keep an eye on these three here. This is where the battle's at. Uwe's looking really quick in the McLaren this time. He's never going to make it around the outside there unless the driver goes deep into the corner, which he's not done. They're all stayed within track limits. And then they come into the fast sector down here. And it looks like the Lambo... Oh, the Lambo's gone a bit wide there. He will have lost a bit of traction there. And he'll be looking to recover it a little bit. And it looks like the Nissan's trying to have a go at the Lambo. The Lambo will be just a bit too nimble for it there. Let's see what it's like at the front. Still coming together at the front. Klaus is starting to pull away a little bit. But, as I said, Helmut is quick around here. So I do think that the gap between Klaus and Helmut is going to stay relatively small. Get a lovely view of all the cars coming through the corners there. Now it looks like we might have a car out. We do. I think. Let me just see if we've got an issue with that car. Oh no, it's just at the back, sorry. It was showing a massive gap. It might be Christian actually. No. It's showing that there's a huge gap between a couple of cars. That gap is starting to increase a little bit. Let's go back to Helmut. And it looks like there's a pass going on behind. Oh, and we're off. We're off again. That was Tim, wasn't it? Let's see what happened here. He's on the curb. Going around there really fast. He's going for a pass. Is there going to be contact? No, bit of a curb ride there from Michael. So far, so good. Very, oh, he's not going to make that. He's not going to make that. Oh, and he's, oh, it looked like Uwe may have made contact with him there as well. I think Uwe has had a bit of an off there as well. Let's go to Uwe on the replay. Not let me switch to Uwe for some reason. I think Uwe's said Tatars. Yeah, I think Uwe's gone. Yeah, Uwe's he's called it a night. Hence why I can't select him. Well, that's Tim going off again. Back into the pits. We've still got this clump of cars going round though. So let's keep an eye on these three here, because this is where the battle is at the moment. Klaus is pulling away, he's 2 seconds clear at the front. So we have here Helmut, Roland and Michael. Nils is still going, but he's losing track and ground on these cars. Now, Tim's still there, and I'm just going to see his Uwe. So Uwe's definitely left the building. Yeah, Uwe's not in the pits at all there. Proving quite a bit of a torment for them, this. None of them struggling to get round. A couple of them struggling to get round on lap 1. Michael's putting a bit of pressure on Roland here. There's 3 of them going for it. Helmet leading the group. Yeah, so when a driver leaves, I can't select them anymore. So if I try and do the replay, I can't select them. So it's it kind of gets in the way a little bit, and it's now showing that Uwe has left. And it's removed him from the screen. See now the helmet's starting to pull away a little bit. Roland's also got Michael behind him. We're on board with Michael here. Gap's just starting to pull up, spread out a little bit now. Klaus is 3 seconds clear at the front, and Nils is 11 seconds behind. He's gone a bit deep there. He's recovered it though. He was looking like he was going to visit the beach then. See the car squealing a little bit. That curb's alright, but when your tyres start to go off, it'll play havoc with your tyres. Go TV mode here, watch the jump. Pew, watch the cars take off. Great little view that when you see the cars taking off. Just missed him there, haven't I? Let me go to Jörg. See Jörg take off. There he goes. Are we going to see him? Oh, we've seen him launch it in a different way. Look at Christian. Is Christian going to launch it? It's got a lot of downforce on that. You can see the way the car stayed down. You can see Klaus just as in front of them here. These 3 are keeping themselves going. They're within a couple of seconds of each other, so it's still going to be good racing with these 3. If none of them bin it. Yeah, Klaus has disappeared. In a different continent there. Tell you what, Roland seems to be flying through there. And Klaus with another 8.22. Decent lap that. That's it, we don't want cones. What do we need cones for? Michael's dropped back a little bit here. He's a couple of seconds off the pace now. The gap has decreased slightly at the front. It's gone from 3.5 seconds down to 3 seconds. Although it is fluctuating a little bit. As Helmet now got to grips and is now starting to put pressure on. So this is a 40-minute race. And we've been racing for 9 minutes. Wanting to know how long they have been racing, at the top of the leaderboard on the left hand side it will give you the how long they've been racing for, rather than having the screen cluttered with times. Klaus is pulling away again now. This is the current battle we've got on track between these two. Of this technical section. There's a bit of oversteer there. And then you get the fast right-hander coming up at the top of this hill. You can take this at some speed and then you'll get the car to go nearly flat out through the top. And then you've got the fast left-hander coming up at the end of this little section. But it's basically keeping it flat here. And then little potential ease off here just to stop the car drifting too far right, and then you get yourself around it and then brake in the right position and get the car around the corner, rotated well. He gained 2/10 there, did Roland, just because of his speed and braking, I think. As he come down the foxhole again, Nick nearly gets the car to go flat out up here. Then it's a heavy braking zone coming up with two sharp corners. A left-hander and a right-hander. Very easy to hit the curb and ride the grass here. And it'll unbalance the car. But again, they've all got through it fine. That, oh, really fighting with the steering wheel there. You could see the marks on the road. Helmet's car was leaving in front. You can see the tyre marks. It's the hit corner. Again, get the balance wrong through there and you will be in the barrier on the left, and get your braking point wrong here and the car won't steer to the left and you'll be in the barrier in front of you. There's a couple of places where you've got to be really careful about your braking points. And by the way, I'm not an expert at this, it's just having driven it a few times, you do realise where you should be braking and not, and undoubtedly you find out where not to brake because you hit the wall. Well, that's why I know. These two are sticking together. Michael's still only 2 seconds behind. You just very barely see him in the mirror. Well, a slight mistake from any of these two and Michael's going to be there. Miss a braking point, deep into a corner, miss an apex. Michael will take a little bit of time away from them, I should imagine. Nicely done. Still staying within a second of Helmet is Roland here. Meanwhile, Klaus is starting to disappear. As you can see, he's coming up to the first carousel. And Helmet's just going around the carousel. We'll pop out. Roland's finished it. Now we've got Michael who's entering the carousel. Well, that's the top 4 cars, and as you can see, they're all close within the carousel. And then Nils is a little bit behind, but he's still there. Again, someone makes a mistake, spins, he's going to be on them. Jörg's coming up to the carousel, right-hander, and up the hill, and he's at the carousel himself. Just, again, still in with a shout. He's not out yet. Christian. So you can see they're all in a very... Oh, he likes taking the carousel at the top. It's an interesting line. And then we've got Tim. So Tim's way behind. I think he's a lap down. So Klaus is going to be catching him soon. I think Tim was in an incident earlier on in the Ferrari. So Roland has lost ground on helmet now. See the gap between Roland and helmet. It's no longer a second, it's around 2 seconds. Now Michael has gained ever so slightly on Roland here. I think he's took nearly half a second off. Doesn't mean he's going to catch him, but it just means that he's keeping the pressure on indirectly. Been running for 16 minutes. And at the moment, Klaus is leading, so Nils is now probably going to be on this straight. Jörg. Oh, Jörg's gone off. See what happened to Jörg? Oh, he's drifting. Keeping going. Has he hit a curb or something? Roland with the fastest lap there. In 8:20. He's just gone over his braking point. You know, he hasn't damaged the car there, interestingly enough. He might get away with it. He just wants to make sure that... Oh, would have probably done without that. He has got away with it. Now, don't think he caught anybody else up in that. Now it's telling me, ignore that. That's saying he's leading. He's not. Ignore that. I'm going to switch that one off. Okay, there's... switch that one off. Bit of an error. Everyone's started to pull out now, little gaps. So Klaus is now still only 3 seconds clear of helmet, but he's looking comfortable. I think it's fair to say. Now, last lap, Klaus did do an 8:18, but he must have gone wide because it hasn't been treated as the fastest lap. It must have been invalid, but he did do an 8:18, so that was in keeping with his first round. So that's why Roland got the fastest lap with an 8:20. Michael did an 8:22, and Helmut did an 8:19. I mean, they're all unbelievable times. I could only dream of doing them. See Helmut's there, and it does look like Roland is still trying to play the game here and catch up a little bit. Now the tyres will eventually start to go off, and we'll probably see a little bit more slipping going on. Roland, oh, did he? Oh, I thought he over-rotated then, Roland. It looked like his car was just starting to spin out. You see Michael still in the background there as well. So, Jörg has pitted. You can see his car's looking rather a bit of a sorry state there. But Ferdows, did make it back to the pits. So once he's got his damage repaired, he will be back out and he'll be able to carry on and continue. Christian's car's still looking a bit battered and bruised in places, unless that's his paint scheme. And Tim is back up and running again, and as we know, Tim was looking relatively quick until he ended up putting it into the barrier. He's really flying around there, really going for it. He's eager to get some positions back or finish as high as he can. Let's go back to Helmut. Roland is still keeping the pressure on. Helmet is keeping him at bay, but it's still only a slight mistake. And Roland will be on him. Now, Michael has had a problem. Let's see if we can find out what's happened to Michael. So this is a long replay, because I don't know when Michael went off. The fact that he's pitted makes me think he's had a bit of a, shall we say, an incident. Oh, he's just gone straight off. Car didn't even turn. That's a really bizarre place to go off that. That looks like his controller stopped working. Because that's one of the places where you don't normally drift right. If it's where it thought it was. That's consequently put him in the pits. So Roland is gaining. I've got to wait for the replay to finish, unfortunately, before I can switch to somebody else. Not really helpful ACC in relation to that. Once you start a replay, you're kind of stuffed a little bit. But hey-ho. Shouldn't be that much left longer on it now. And then what I'll do is I'll jump back to Roland. Because Roland is still trying to put pressure on. Helmet. This is a fast sector and he has caught him up a little bit. And this sector on the first lap, oh, big twitch. Big twitch there. Woo! Now Helmet's gone wide. You can quite clearly see that there. He's now got down to a second. So that mistake by Helmet has really opened the door for Roland. I thought Roland had gone into that too quick then. Looked like he was going to pop out. If he can get within another couple of tenths, he'll get the toe on the straight a little bit. I'm not too sure whether he's going to make that. This could be tyres, simple as that. It could be the tyres are just starting to go off a little bit, because you do hammer them around here. They have been racing for 22 minutes. The tyres should be alright, but this is not a normal track. And the first, what I'd say, proper sector really takes the heat out, puts the heat in the tyres. There's 0.8 of a second now. Don't know if Michael's going to come back out again. Launched it off there, didn't he? Quite easily launched it. He's now within half a second. Ooh, he's looking a bit ragged there. His helmet. Roland's really got to grips here. Had to ease off there. I've got the feeling Roland wants to go around faster. Oh dear, 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 dear. He's got trouble. His car looks like he's struggling there. Yeah, his steering wheel's bent. I think he's going to have to pit, because that's going to be difficult to go around left-handers. Sorry, right-handers. Left-handers it'll turn for fun. Right-handers it won't. Shame that. It was looking to be a good battle. It does mean Helmet lives to fight another day. Alright, is Michael coming out yet? No, he's still sitting in the pits. Jörg is sitting in the pits. Klaus has gone fastest with an 8:18. Again, another really quick lap from Klaus there. A Helmet does an 8:20. So again, that's not a shabby lap either. That's a decent lap from Helmet. Roland's not pitting, and he did an 8:24, which is still good. But he's not pitting, so he's going to have to fight with the steering wheel. And that may have a problem with his tyres as well if the steering's bent, because it might mean the tracking's out a little bit, which means the tyres will wear even more. You can see he's really fighting with that car. And as he's got 15 minutes still to go, he's got at least 2 laps to complete. So the interesting thing here is if he's struggling, can Nils gain on him? So I'm going to look at the delta. So Roland's already a second down. He's having trouble putting into the corners, Roland. So it's the corners where I'd expect Nils to gain on him. Yeah, Roland's 4 seconds down now. 5 seconds. That looks like he's gone off. Oh, he's pitting. So he's gone. He's obviously come round. Oh. How's he done that? How's he got in the pits? I'm intrigued. He must have worked his way into the pits because he's gone in a way he shouldn't have gone in. That's interesting. So that now means that Klaus is leading. Helmet's behind him, 6.5 seconds. And then we've got Nils. Now, until he hit the sector, it's still showing Roland in 3rd place, which obviously I don't think is correct. So as Roland found a little bit of a glitch by taking the pits a different angle. He's definitely still sat in the pits, so I'd expect him to leave shortly. It's corrected itself now. Gap at the front is altering ever so slightly. He just nearly went a bit wide there, did Roland. Sorry, did Nils. Roland is back out now. Yeah, he's below 6 seconds at the moment. So he's just starting to eke out. Although the gap does keep increasing and decreasing actually. Seemed to cost me a bit of time, that, although I'm still waiting for the timings to reset themselves a little bit. I didn't manage to get away with that. Three-quarters through the race. YouTube corner. Or one of them. Seven seconds now, the gap. House completes another lap. Got a yellow flag. He's gone off. Not too sure at this point. There's a yellow flag somewhere. Not there. Not there. Not there. Not there. Oh, Michael. What happened there then? Let's go back. Oh, it was more than 30 seconds ago. Again, it looks like he's had a control problem. He's just gone straight off track. So he's obviously rejoined. But he seems to have gone off in a really bizarre place. But that looks like, as I said, he's had a bit of a disconnect. Interesting. I don't mean disconnect from the server, I mean disconnect from the controls. Because the first one looked like he had no steering. And if he's gone straight on there, that looks like the same sort of thing has happened again there. Nissan's still going well. Again, he's fourth. Not necessarily about pace, consistency, and not hitting the wall. Makes a big difference. Wonder if we're going to see Michael come out again or whether he's going to call it a day. Still sitting in the pits. Back to Klaus. Now, interesting here. I'm seeing the gap being much shorter. You can see Klaus is in front. The gap is down to 3 seconds. Klaus has had a 4-second problem somewhere. It's not over by a long shot, this. We've basically got this lap and the next to go. Nils is too far off to concern them at the moment. He's having a good run though, to be fair, in that Lamborghini. You can see there's marks on the side of it, but he's still going. And as we've seen already, Christian in the Nissan is having a good run as well. Gone a bit wide there. I'm trying to work out he's too far behind Christian to catch Christian up at this moment. The only other person out on track is Tim. And he's a way down. He's a lap down everybody. Gap's still coming down, ever so slightly. Now he's losing time on this lap a lot. That makes me think his tyres have gone. Because Klaus's delta is dropping, whereas Helmut's delta is staying static. So Helmut is definitely gaining on Klaus here. This last lap's going to be really interesting. Now Helmut is trying his hardest, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. He'll know he's there because he does get glimpses of the car. But the gap is currently 4 seconds. At this lap, Klaus will be doing, at the moment, an 8.27 and 8.28. Whereas Helmut's going to be doing an 8.25. So that means the last lap, if they carry that on, is going to be very interesting indeed. Because they're going to finish very, very close to each other. Now, Helmut has just started struggling here a little bit based on the delta. You can see there he is having started a bit of a fight with the car. But maybe what Klaus has been going through in the Aston, Helmut's now starting to go through in the Ferrari. In the fast section here coming up. Right-hander, and then it'd be foot down. Nice and steady through there. His tyres looking good, to be honest. See Klaus just turn right then as he starts heading to the straight. He's 4.7 seconds behind. And gap's growing a little bit. But Klaus has still got his delta's a lot worse. I think Klaus is now looking at an 8:28 and 8:29. Whereas Helmut's still looking at an 8:25 or thereabouts. Oh, checkered flag. Oh yeah, they finished 41 minutes. Wow. Never got the other lap in, did they? Well, there you go. Nils is going to claim third place. Great race, that. Very close, actually, to not getting another lap in. They must have timed it deliberately, knowing full well they'd get that number of laps in. But another couple of seconds slower each lap, and they'd have been doing another lap. Nils is really slowing it down here. This is Christian. Now at the moment, Roland is on an absolute flyer. I don't know if they have any points for the fastest lap, or whether it gets reset at a pit stop. But Roland's on for an 8:16. Which is a pretty damn quick lap, if I'm being brutally honest. And that's in the Ferrari. So let's see Christian over the line first of all. He's had two good results, Christian. Oh, he's just gone wide. That's such a shame. Roland's now on the 8:15s. He's definitely on the 8:15s. Oh, come on, Christian. Nearly there. Oh, he's trying to drift it round the corner. Sure what the top speed is of the Nissan, but they've all been doing 277, 267, 268, 270. It's way down. I mean, there may be damage on it now as well, to be honest. But that's definitely a good few mile an hour down. Roland's on an 8:14 now. Keep going, he's been at 8:13 and he's now getting on the straight. I think he's not far off the straight anyway. No, he's not there yet. Coming up to the final corner, he's 7.5 seconds up on his best, so this could be a very quick lap time. Are we going to see it? An 8:18. And that isn't the fastest lap. The fastest lap was taken by Klaus. Final person on track is Tim, who got involved in a fight with Barry and come off second best. Still got a way to go here. Well done to the podium. Well done to Christian, both races. Just staying in there. Ploughing along, keeping going. Some good finishes there, as everybody else fell off. Obviously got a bit of overtime on the timing here for him to finish his race. Still pushing it. You can see the car sliding, but his tyres should be pretty good actually. He's not yet going fast enough to beat his fastest lap, but he's getting there. He's definitely getting there. If he can gain a second here, he will go faster than his fastest lap on this session. But he's just behind it at the moment. Yeah, the time's starting to slip away from him a little bit. He needs a good couple of sectors now. That's the bit where you take off. Nailed it through there. Lying down here. Bit of a tyre squeal. Obviously putting under pressure. Oh, I thought he had a twitch then. He was going into the barrier, but he didn't do it. He kept going. Second carousel. Come out of there well. Going to lead him up to the straight. Don't think he's going to better his time here. But he's remained rather static. Still a good end. He's kept going. He didn't give in. He's shifting there. It's not the same commentating on the Nordschleife because of a lack of cars, so it's probably not been as exciting as it usually is. Less to see, but still had a bit of enjoyment with it. Hope those who stayed for the duration have enjoyed it, and I shall see you when I'm back from my holidays, and that is the end of the race. Thank you very much everyone, and well done gentlemen. Bye.